All right, y'all, welcome back. I wanted to come to you and bring you an update on my ENPH trade and the lead trade, which is not going well, by the way, that I gave you guys last week. So, market right now, just quick overview, is still approaching, all-time highs here. So, things are still going well. We had a little dip earlier in the week, bounced up. We're going to get the full report on the market and the weekly market report on Sunday. But I'm the Wall St Yardie. What we do on this channel is find you good companies and good trades that are getting ready to go from bear to bull so that you can jump in and take advantage of it. And then we use options to get some leverage so that you're not spending crazy amounts of money to control a wide array or a wide number of shares, right? So let's jump right in. Let's jump into the ENPH trade right away. And we're going to take a look here, ENPH. And what we did last Wednesday, May 13th, is we were able to see that ENPH was coming in and, trading well below the 200 level, right? It popped over it and then it bounced back under. And then we saw this start coming back and close above the 200 again. A couple days above the 200, couple small candles, and then the volume picked up. And this is where I really started to get interested in it off of my scanner. And I saw it start popping and I saw this big candle, and this is where I jumped in here on May 13th, last Wednesday. So let's take a look at what happened since then. As you can see on the chart, ENPH took a huge move up, and I'm just going to go from the close on the 13th because that's right about when I took my trade. I like to take my trades from 3 to 4 in the afternoon. That's when I can kind of see how the market is playing, see how the story is being told for the day. See if there's a fake out, because a lot of times the market will open up strong and then it close the day weak, and you don't want to get caught in that if you're trading early in the day. So from the end of that day on the 13th when I took the trade, let's see what we did. So I'll start there at the close and up to the high of today, right? ENPH was up 54.5%, and this is just in the 9 days that we've been watching this thing. So it took off immediately. So, and that's just if you're trading the stock is 54%. I'm going to show you what our option did. The option that we chose was a January 2028 45 call. And the reason I wanted to go out that far is because the story behind this move is ENPH just announced a new commercial inverter that's going to allow them to get into the commercial space. They used to be pretty much a pure residential solar play before, but now they're getting into the commercial solar. So this is going to give them a chance to play for commercial buildings, wherever people are trying to save on energy in their commercial buildings, as well as data centers, which is all the rage right now with everything around AI data centers. So they have a new product coming out that's going to help them serve the data centers. It's a solid state energy inverter that's going to help them play in the data center space and give about 1.25 megawatts of energy per installation of these. So they're going to be able to sit right next to some of the turbines you might see from GEV and some of the other players. And this is what the market is excited about, and this is why you're starting to see the stock take off the way it did. We did the January 28 45 calls. I'll just bring in my little trade screen here, and what you can see is that I went ahead and bought that call. I paid $15.60 for that call. Today, as of about an hour or so ago, this was trading for about $33.55. So we've already more than doubled on this on the option, while the stock you still took in that nice 50-something%. What was it again? Let's take a look. 54.5%, right? So I doubled using the options, and that's the leverage that I was talking about in the intro, where we're going to use options to get us a little extra leverage, whereas the stock moved up 54%, but our option is doubled already. So at this point, I could take some off, but I believe this AI energy play is the play that we have going on right now in the market. I'm going to let this one ride. You saw a couple, 3 days into it, we had a nice little pullback here. This one didn't scare me too much because the pullback came back. If you notice the level, I zoom back to the left. This is where you got to look at the history. We had some touches here. This level at 45 was very good support and resistance, right? So you see that the stock bounces off. When it breaks, it comes back and gets resisted around the same area all throughout the history of this, right? So when it came back to that, I wanted to see this bounce, and that's exactly what we got after we touched that line and came back up. So I'm still hanging on. I'm not worried about it. We have a lot of ways to go. The next level to watch, if it comes back down, is going to be right here around 52. Let's call it. So all these highs that we're seeing here. So we'll just change that one to yellow because that's not a entry line for us. That's just a watch line. And what you're going to see here, if it comes back and bounces off of this, there's nothing to worry about. If it comes back and starts closing below this, then I might consider maybe rolling up or maybe taking some off and seeing kind of where the trade goes, right? So education-wise, this is what we're looking at. These are the levels we're looking at. Until then, until it starts coming back to maybe these levels, I'm going to let it run, right? Today we had a nice big wick on the bottom and not the best, right, for our scenario. But we are closing back now near the highs. So this is a very strong move again. If you look at the volume down here at the bottom, volume is right on average of where it should be to be a continued strong move. So I don't see any weakness of this going into the weekend, going into the holiday weekend. So I'm going to kind of continue to go on and hold on to this and see how it goes. But I wanted to bring it out, show you how the trade was working out. Even with these 2 days of pullback here, you had to just kind of hold on. That was the bet we were taking, is that this break above the 200 was going to be big. It was going to run for a while. This is a trade that I'll publish what I look for in this trade and how this trade works here shortly in the next week or so that you guys know what to look for as well. But whenever I see these breaks above the 200 is very much under it. You can consider a bear trend is happening. When it starts crossing back over it, this is where we're looking for moves. And especially if we've been under the 200 for a long time, that's what they call basing, right? So the stock was basing under the 200. It was just finding a nice range here is what we were doing. When you start seeing it start break out of that range, right, and start break over the 200, you know that the market is interested now, and you're going to get these kinds of moves. There's quite a few of them that do this, and I'll put that in the other video as well, so stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe so you know when that one drops. All right, let's take a look at a trade that's not working out so well for us this week. Was Lee, and we took the Lee trade same day as the ENPH trade. They were both kind of breaking above the 200 here, as you can see. And like I said, this is a type of trade I like. We saw Lee come down big, started going sideways. We started getting higher lows, all the way through here. So I saw the trend coming along and moving higher. And then when we broke that 200, I was a little early, it looks like. But that is what I was looking at, right? I saw this trend playing out. We started closing above the 200. We barely closed above the 200 on that day. That was a big green candle, big volume. So I was pretty bullish on this. But I also said in the video that this could be just a China trade because this all happened while Trump was over in China. And Lee is a Chinese EV. So next day you saw it pull back. This is what you call a bearish harami, right? You get the big green, and then harami is pregnant in Japanese. So they get the little pregnant baby inside of that big green candle. And that's usually bearish. So this could have been a good sign for you to get out as well. But we were looking at the 18 level as our get out point. And this is what can happen if you wait like this. So this is actually a good lesson is 2 days later, we got this gap down, and now I was kind of stuck in it, right? So it broke the trend. And what I did at this point, we still only lost half of the value of our premium because we did take a leap on Lee as well, which we were out January 2027 on this one. But what I noticed here, we only lost half. So I closed this one out as I saw it break down here. We're starting to see some greens come back. We have earnings coming. So that might be, that might be good news here, but I didn't want to wait for that. I decided to just take the half loss, especially after I had that nice big win with ENPH. So this was not a big deal. This was when we bought this one, this was about a $200 or $2 per share option contract. So we closed out of this one. We took the small loss, and then we're dealing with ENPH right now and just continue to watch that. And we're going to continue to watch for more opportunity in the market. So stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to bring them to you as I see them, so that you can, learn from these opportunities as well. It's not financial advice. I'm just really trying to show you guys what to look for in a setup that might work for you. A lot of folks talk to me and say, well, I don't know about that option stuff. As you can see here, we do long-term options. We're not doing the short end of week, maybe even end of month options here. We're trying to get your mindset out of this short-term mindset. Try to find quality plays, things where we're having momentum, like in ENPH, where we could see, like if we look at FCell, which is also in this same AI data center play, you're going to get these moves because this is where the market wants to be. Anything AI energy related, data center energy related is kind of taking off right now, right? You're seeing First Solar also take off as well. That's another one where they're starting to think about, okay, maybe we can integrate some solar power into the data center. So there's a few more there for you to watch. I'm not playing these, but again, look at this one. This one was trading well below the 200, closed above it, pulled back a little bit, and then it took off, right? So this is the same pattern that we saw with ENPH, we saw with Lee, where we were trading below the 200 for about 3 months. That's kind of the minimum I look for. And then boom, once we get this close above, a lot of times you will see this pullback, but sometimes I like to get in on this first candle, handle the pullback. Even after this close here, my stop or my exit would have been probably either this candle here. This one is kind of way too far, but maybe a close below these candles here would have told me that this trade is not going to work out, right? So again, very tight stop, right, for a huge return to the upside. So that's just another one there. We could have totally taken this play here back on Wednesday. This was a very big candle, very good volume. It followed right in line with the ENPH trade, so I didn't want to double down on that energy bet, but these are the things we're looking for, is stocks that were trading well below the 200 and now are crossing back up and catching momentum here. Those are usually a nice longer term 2, 3, 4 month type plays, from what I've seen in my studies in the chart over the years. So that's what I'm going to bring to you here. Remember, it's not about the hype. It's not about everything else. We're going to use the charts. We're going to use our fundamentals. We're going to get into strong plays as they come, and we're going to use options to get that leverage, that extra leverage to help boost our returns, right? So again, I'm the Wall Street Yardie. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and then let's link up on the next one. I'm going to see you on Sunday for the market report. So I'll catch you then.